What's up, guys? This is episode 3 of our podcast, Undercover Weebs, and today we're going to be going over our favorite main characters in all of anime.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I have a lot of people that have never heard of these characters because you got to get in, got to watch a lot of special shows to get there.
Oh, I see one on your list that I totally forgot about, but I really like. Yeah, there's a few I haven't heard of on there.
Yeah, why don't you just start off right away with your first one?
Okay, all right. So this is my favorite main character of anime. I think he's up there for sure, and that's Luffy from One Piece.
Luffy is definitely my favorite character in One Piece.
I will say, favorite character? Yeah, he's my second or third, but I love him so much as a main character, and I just love he's just the most genuine anime character ever. Like, that's his thing, is he is just super genuine. He's
just so goofy and dumb.
Yeah.
And that's usually the type of character that I'll gravitate towards in a show. Mostly, like, for example, in, like, Demon Slayer, my favorite is Zenitsu.
Yep.
Like, I'm just always about the goofy guys. They're just the funnest ones to
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it because, like, he comes off so dumb and just so stupid, but he's not, like, stupid, so to speak. He just doesn't care about consequences at all, and you'll get into that. He just will make a decision based on what he thinks is right.
He sticks to his morals, and I like that about One Piece, is that the writers, Oda's very good at, like, keeping the characters to the morals that they like stand by.
And, like, Luffy would literally rather die than, like, betray his morals. Like, he's just, like, good to his core. And, like, he will say whatever's on his mind, and he just is, like, the embodiment of a good guy, and that's what I like about him. Because I feel like a lot of anime characters, like, they can, like, go through changes in, like, a negative way, and they become, like, I don't know, worse people throughout the story, but he's just always stuck to his roots.
He really is.
And, like, he always gets people to come and, like, that gravitate towards him. That's why he has such a great crew, because he's just such a pure-hearted guy. And there's this part you're going to get to where, have you heard of Whitebeard?
Yeah, I know who Whitebeard is. I've been spoiled for a few things on Whitebeard.
Yeah, like the biggest part. But there's this part where it's in probably the craziest arc, which is Marineford. And Luffy, like, falls out of the sky, and he, like, lands in front of Whitebeard. Well, it actually saves Whitebeard. He helps him out for, like, 1 second, and then he just, like, looks at this, who's one of the strongest, if not the strongest character we get introduced to at this point.
Yeah.
And he just looks at him, and he comes up to, like, Whitebeard's shin. Whitebeard's, like, 35 feet tall.
Oh,
and he just
God.
goes, "Hey, don't you want to be the Pirate King? Well, screw you, I'm going to be the Pirate King." And, like, everyone in the whole war just, like, freaks out and starts screaming because they're like, how is Luffy talking to this man like this? And he's just such a good character. Like, there's also a part right before that where he ends up fighting these girls, and they have a slave mark on their back. Not really a big spoiler. And they're trying to, like, kill Luffy, and he's sort of winning the fight. And, like, so one of the girls' clothes starts getting burned, and she's in a position where she can't cover up her back, and she doesn't want any of her followers to see that she has, like, a slave tattoo. She says if she does, like, she's gonna kill herself. She'd rather die than let anyone see it. And Luffy just, like, as they're trying to kill him, just jumps on her back and covers it for her, because he's like, and then he says something along the lines of, "I know you're trying to kill me, but I'm not trying to kill you. I think you're a good person." And then he just does everything. Yeah, he's such a good character.
He's such a good goofy and wholesome protagonist. It really doesn't get a whole lot better than that, and especially this shonen genre.
Yeah. Dude, he could be so mean too. There's this part where he meets a mermaid princess, and he's just, like, messing around with her, and he's, like, eating her food because she lets him, and she, like, pushes his cheek because he can expand with his rubber, and it's, like, spits out, and he yells at her, and she starts crying, and then he's, like, eating, and then he looks at her, and he goes, "Wow, you're such a wimp. I hate you." He's like, "I really hate you."
I think I've seen memes of that. I'm not that far in One Piece.
And she just, like, starts crying. It's just he's just such.
Isn't the mermaid, like, ginormous?
Yeah, she's huge.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've seen like memes and stuff of her, but
and then he calls her Wimpy Hoshi because she's a wimp the rest of the time. I love Luffy. I just love him. He's a great character. He's hilarious.
He's a great one. All right, I'll take off my first one, and it's of a show that I don't think you actually have seen. The show is called Space Dandy.
I've seen it.
You have seen it. I love Space Dandy.
I'm like, okay, I actually I watch an episode every now and then. I think I'm on episode 9.
I actually have not. I just started watching it last week.
Okay.
And I have maybe 3 or 4 episodes left.
Yep.
But Space,
it's funny.
He's the funniest guy in the entire universe.
Boobies.
Yeah.
Like the restaurant. He just loves it.
And usually, especially in that show, I'm a person that hates anime that it's completely episodic. Like you can watch the last episode and then the first episode, and it wouldn't make any goddamn difference what order it's in. But Space Dandy, which is the guy's name, by the way, in case you've never seen it, he's just so funny.
He's hilarious. Dude, the show is just hilarious in itself.
It's like a kind of like a parody-ish of Cowboy Bebop, but it's by the same guy as Cowboy Bebop. It is by
the same guy. It's like it's not like a comedic version of Cowboy Bebop, kind of.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
Gotta hunt them aliens so he can get money to pay for boobies.
All he wants to do is go to boobies, man. Dude, that show, though, at the end of each episode, because I'm just like, what is going on? I feel like they die at the end of summer, it seems like.
There was one that they completely switch, at the end of it, at the beginning, this is a show that I always watch the entire intro for. I'll always skip every intro, but for some reason, this intro, it starts off with Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy. In space.
He's a dandy guy in space.
I watch that every time, and I'd laugh at it every single time.
It is so funny. That show I never hear talked about.
It's kind of a sleeper, which is surprising coming from the maker of Shampoo and Bebop and
Colossal
I
Hits.
think he also made Carol and Tuesday, which I have not seen.
I haven't either.
It's a Netflix one. Didn't really interest me. I've heard good things about it.
I have too. I heard it was some people's favorite of that season.
Yeah.
I remember it was getting a lot of hype.
I saw the first episode, but I just wasn't drawn in.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. Dude, the episode where they're driving it's that race, in their aircrafts or spacecrafts.
Against Prince?
Yeah. What is the thing that causes the gigantic black hole explosion? Isn't it a bagel? Or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, well, I think when they're gassing up, they strap dynamite to the bottom of, I think it's Dandy's ship, and then Meow puts the fuel he puts in isn't fuel, it's just food.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't understand what fuel is.
And they're the reaction of the fuel and
and all the different stuff that he put in there caused a giant explosion.
Then he goes through a Rick and Morty crazy trippy time warp thing after that. That show's great.
At the end of one episode, they redo the beginning. It was one where they pull the lines, the weird hairs, and then they travel to different dimensions. At the end of the episode, they redo the beginning, which is what I was originally getting at, but I forgot. But they do it with different Space Dandies and Meows, and I thought it was the funniest shit ever.
That show's amazing.
It's a great show.
It is. I'm glad you put that on there because I never would have remembered Space Dandy.
It's so fresh, and I was like, this guy needs to be mentioned at least.
Yeah, for sure. We've chat this next character we've kind of talked about a bit. I think we talked about him in both podcasts. But Shinichi from Parasite,
he's got the most character development out of any main protagonist.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy.
I've ever seen.
We've already glossed over it. If you've been listening, you've probably heard us talk a bunch about it. But it is such a wild, it's a 3-part character development.
Yeah,
it goes from nerdy to having an alien in his arm
to being super badass, having an alien in his arm, and then kind of realizing that he's lost everything.
Yeah, and then he becomes less human almost because he starts to become more like the aliens.
Mm-hmm. Because he fused with it.
Yeah, but also he just started. he's a great character. Yeah, we've talked about him a lot. I have nothing
Yeah.
else to say on that.
I mean, as a protagonist, it's these kind of shows that I find more interesting to watch over like the shonen when you're paying attention to the protagonist, because I find shonen protagonists very dry.
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking at your mainstream shonen like Izuku. I want to punch him in the face.
Same.
Naruto, there's times I want to punch him in the face. Like all the mainstream shonen, I just don't like the main character very much.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. A lot of like mainstream shonen, you almost gravitate more to like the side characters.
Yeah.
And like enjoy them more. I don't even know if that's a mainstream shonen thing. I feel like that's a lot of series. The big ones, like Naruto's not my favorite character in Naruto. Honestly, like none of the main characters.
Yeah, I haven't seen the entirety of Naruto, but I've seen the first like 130 episodes or something.
Oh, wow, you actually dug in pretty deep. I didn't know you got that.
I think
far.
there's like 300 and some episodes, though, aren't there?
In Shippuden or both?
Both. Or I don't know how much.
I think there's like 600.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
A ton of
never
filler,
gonna.
though.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
like
I'm never gonna
hundreds of
catch up to
filler.
that.
But yeah, I agree. There's some shonen protagonists I really vibe with, but I'm in it for the side characters a lot.
Yeah.
more.
One main protagonist that's not on my list, but that I can think of right now that I actually kind of like is Shinra in Fire Force.
Oh yeah,
Because
I
he
love
doesn't piss me
Shinra.
off.
Right? Yeah. No, Shinra's great. There's this formula that I like. It's when, because a few of my characters,
When they're not loud is when I like.
I like when they're not loud, and I like when they're fighting for something a lot deeper. Like Shinra's
Yeah.
fighting for his brother and to get his mom back, and then a couple
Not
other,
just fighting to be the best.
right. They actually like have something deep that they're fighting for,
Mm-hmm.
and I really end up liking those characters a lot. We should talk about later is like we should talk about Meliodas, and then we can.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, my next one, I'll just segue into actually technically not the main character,
Yeah.
but of Seven Deadly Sins, but it's Escanor, who is my personal favorite sin. But if you could
Might as
take
well.
literally any. Seven Deadly Sins is so character driven
Yeah.
that, especially I've made it about 10 episodes into the new season that dropped today. Have you seen any of it?
I haven't because I think I'm gonna refuse to watch it. I might read it instead.
It is actually okay. So it gets a little too much flack, I think, for the animation.
Okay.
At least in the first 10 episodes that I saw.
So it's watchable.
Well, if you rewatch, I haven't rewatched it, but like if you look at the animation in the earlier seasons, it's not like it was
It's not-
Attack on Titan level
No, it's not
animation
outstanding.
or
Yeah.
Vinland Saga or like amazing animation. I just went through the Gother character arc, which
Oh,
I'm
really?
not gonna spoil anything.
Yeah, don't spoil because I actually really enjoy Seven Deadly Sins.
But I was just thinking about each character's arc in that show, and they flesh out the characters in Seven Deadly Sins so well.
Yeah,
and I love it. Like I
it's-
hate the main actually storyline. I could care less for,
the
but
plot's very
Yeah.
middle of the road, but the characters
it's pretty mediocre, average. But
top tier.
if you're watching that, you watch it for the characters.
Yeah, I think I like almost every sin more than Meliodas.
Yeah,
I like Escanor more. I
maybe-
like Bon a lot.
maybe not Merlin, just because I feel like we don't really get a whole
Yeah,
lot from
I
Merlin.
don't know anything about
But I think
Merlin.
her character arc comes like later.
Dude, I like King a lot. Yeah. Who's the giant? What's her name?
Diane.
Diane. I like Diane a lot. Yeah, the characters really, now that I think about it, it's like the whole reason I watch the show.
Yeah,
is for
that's what
characters.
people probably think when they're watching it, like, wow, this story is so cool, but it's really the character development in that show that really reels you in.
Mhm.
And Escanor is my favorite in that because he's just such a
He's
badass.
such a badass. He's one of the biggest flexers in all of anime.
He is the biggest flexor in all
Probably
of
the
anime.
biggest flexer.
Who hasn't seen the clip where he's up against Esterosa?
It's one of my favorite fights ever. It's so clown.
It's the best written fight of all time.
He's such a nice guy. Because everyone else is just so below him. He
Yeah,
pities them.
Oh, that fight! Every fight that he's in, though, he has some one-liner that it'll say that just brings it up hype to the next level. There's one already, I think it was in the first episode or second episode maybe in this season that came out today.
Yeah. Have you gotten to the Meliodas Escanor fight yet?
I think that's in the second half. I haven't seen it yet.
Because like I saw clips of that and it literally looked like it was fan made.
Yeah, I never said the animation was good, but I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm 100% gonna watch it.
Yeah, like it's not bad enough that you boycott it.
Okay.
Like if you look at it and you like pause frames, like, but
that's like with basically anything.
You can pick that out in anything,
yeah.
And that's what people are doing. They're really nitpicking it.
Like the second season of One Punch Man.
Yeah,
which wasn't even. That was.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Same. It was
I didn't have a
so
problem.
overhyped for being bad. And
it's just when the animation falls that far.
Right, and don't get me wrong. There's gonna be moments where you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is terrible," but I don't need animation to be perfect to like a show.
No, definitely not. And especially in a show like that, is more like the appeal is from the characters and not so much the animation in the first place. Yeah, I think people give it way too much flack for this season.
I'm probably going to start watching that soon then because I love Seven Deadly Sins. All right, my next one I got here is Edward Elric.
I thought about putting him on my list.
I enjoy him. I think he's
got good reasons to do what he does.
He does, and I realize I really like characters like that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, he's kind of similar to like Tanjiro, who I'm going to talk about later, who I really enjoy because he's just trying to get his brother back.
Yeah, his brother in his arm.
And he's just a great
Doesn't
guy.
get his arm though.
I like Edward's. I honestly like his whole dynamic because he comes off kind of stupid, you know, and just like a hothead, but he's actually super smart.
He is,
and like he's like one of the smartest.
Well, he's the young. No, is his brother? Is Alphonse a state alchemist?
I haven't seen it in so long.
I can't remember if he's considered. I thought Edward was the youngest state alchemist, but now that I think of it, how was Alphonse not a state alchemist? I haven't seen it in a long time.
I can't even talk because I'm not sure. It's been so long. But yeah, and I love his short man syndrome, bro. That shit has me cracking up all the time.
That is a character that has you, like he has a serious like reason to go out and to do what he does, but then he also can make you crack up at the same time from people not even calling him short, but him just thinking that it's because he's short that so the funny way they use their language.
God, I mean, if it's one of the best anime of all time, you gotta have a good main character. So that's why I feel like Edward should definitely be on this. And I don't know, man, when he's fighting Father, when everyone's yelling like Ed, Full Metal, like hyping him up, that shit was so hype.
I was gonna watch.
Pulls the crowbar out of his arm, just goes crazy.
Yeah. I was thinking about just yesterday about starting the 2003 Full Metal Alchemist, like the original.
Yeah, we should do a rewatch together.
Yeah, we should.
I would do that.
The only reason I didn't start it was because I wanted to be able to watch Seven Deadly Sins without something else in the middle. And I was watching Space Dandy, but that's something that I can come back to because it's not something that you really need to keep watching. That's more like split it up when you're bored.
Right. I started Madoka Magica, by the way.
What are you thinking of it? How far are you in it?
I'm 2 episodes in.
You're almost to where the shit shit hits the fan.
I'm excited. I like it so far, honestly. It's
it's
got me interested.
It definitely pulls you in. It doesn't have that problem, but if you're turned off by the magical girl stuff that's going on right at the beginning, it might turn you away.
Dude, I like how the art style is interesting.
Yeah.
Off topic, I guess.
No, art style is definitely an important aspect when drawing you in.
I kind of like something that's a little different.
I do too. That's why I really like Mob Psycho art style, is because it's different. People are hating on the Tower of God art style, to be honest, but I think it fits and I like it because, like, it just it's different. Yeah. It's different. I think people are at this point just being too spoiled with amazing looking shows that they care too much about the art style and not enough about the actual story.
I agree. I think that's annoying when like animation is something that really keeps someone going on a show. It's like, come on, there's so much more sustenance. Like, don't focus on the animation. Yeah, you want to go with your next one?
Yeah. So my next one is technically the antagonist, but in my eyes, he is the protagonist.
I would agree. We were just talking about this at my house before I came over about this.
So, and I'm talking about L from Death Note. So Death Note is a show that has no set antagonist, protagonist per se, and I would say actually follows the antagonist the entire time.
I agree. I agree 100%.
In Light, because Light is in the
he's in the wrong.
Unless you're super unmoral person, he is in the moral wrong
100%.
of the story. So I think that, me personally, L is the protagonist of the story, but it tells it in such a different twist of a way.
Right. Because L drives the whole first season. If there were no L trying to catch...
Yeah.
Do they call him...
Kira?
Yeah. Like, if he's not trying to catch Kira, that doesn't happen. He's driving the story. Light's just going to do his thing and kill people. And it basically follows the story of L trying to catch him and figure out who this is. So I would agree 100%.
I think that's partially the beauty of Death Note, though, is that it
really is.
It's one of the rare occurrences where it does follow someone that is in the wrong and is pretty obvious unless you're screwed up in the head.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I agree 100% because I feel like Light came out with good intentions. But then he just got a power hungry, thought he was a god.
He definitely did.
And yeah, I was low-key rooting for L because I wanted to see how that would go. So
yeah.
I would agree. I would say he's the protagonist. Everyone can... The term protagonist, I feel like, can be taken a lot of different ways.
It does. I don't know what the exact definition of protagonist is.
Because some people think, like, the main character, but I feel like...
Protagonist, to me, is the main character that is in the moral right.
I think it's that, and it's also the main character that drives the story.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Whatever. We're just going to keep going.
Sure.
Main characters. We're just, just take it as you will.
Sure. Who you got next?
I have Tanjiro. Once again, another character trying to help his sister. We already went over this, but I just love characters that are genuinely good to their core. And I love characters that have actually like a reason I can relate to.
Yeah, we were going over that with the shonen.
Because if my sister turned into a demon, I would probably do everything I could to try to fix her as well, and I can relate to him totally. Yeah, and Tanjiro's just great.
He's a good dude.
We've talked about him in other videos. That's all I got to say on him. I'm sure everyone has seen Demon Slayer and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right. My next two, I'm gonna group them together because they're from the same show. And the first one is technically, I have a few in a row here that are not protagonists per se, but this one is, and it's Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul.
Yep, that's all you. I haven't seen it.
So the reason I like Ken Kaneki is that he has the same Shinichi type character development. He starts off as a geeky. He's in it's like Kami College in Tokyo or something. Like it's supposed to be a great school. He's a literature student, and then he goes through this. He turns into a ghoul, obviously, through certain means, and the character development that he has to go through. Specifically, he will go to any end to protect the people that he finds important, or protect the people that he loves, basically. So he works his way at getting stronger and starts at literally the low of the low of being a half ghoul, and works his way up, killing countless ghouls and people just to protect the people that he finds or that he wants around. But the thing is he doesn't really succeed either, which is tough. And that kind of segues into my other character, Juzo Suzuya, who is technically, for at least the first parts, the antagonist well, not the main antagonist really, but it's also a person that is the same age as Ken Kaneki but works for the CCG, who's it's the counter. It's like counter ghouls.
Oh, okay.
Like they fight against the ghouls, and so at first you look at him as a person that is the antagonist, but if you think about it, ghouls need to eat people to live, so it's also another thing that, like, technically Ken Kaneki isn't wrong to try to protect his friends, but also the countermeasures for ghouls are like they're doing their job to keep the actual citizens safe. And after you realize that everybody's just fighting for their own sake, and there is not really a right and a wrong, but everybody's pretty much fighting for their own sake in this show. And that's what I like about Juzo, is that he was raised by a ghoul, kept captive, killed other humans to stay alive, and he's framed as an antagonist, but in Re becomes more of a protagonist. And that's just the way that Re is formatted, because it's kind of flip sides. You take a look from the other side, basically.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's my rant on Tokyo Ghoul.
No, yeah.
I don't know if that got you interested in Tokyo Ghoul
I am interested in seeing it.
You can borrow my Tokyo Ghoul manga too if you want. I have the box set right there.
I think I'd rather just read it. I might have to do that because I'm definitely interested in it.
Or I think you can read it on Viz as well.
Yeah, I'll have to do it one of these days. But yeah, I'm definitely interested. I know nothing about it, like besides from what you've said, so I'm going in pretty blind. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. Trying to think who I should go with here. Kind of want to save this one. I'm gonna talk about Vash the Stampede a little bit from Trigun.
Oh, okay.
Which you haven't seen.
No, I haven't seen. I didn't even know who you were talking about at first.
Vash is... Oh, I love him. He's such a cool character. He's just like a goofy badass, which I feel like a lot of anime main characters are. But he actually goes through some pretty crazy development in his whole entire journey, because his whole thing is he won't kill a human. He won't kill someone.
Really?
Yeah, it's his like whole thing. He will do anything he can.
That's definitely different.
To not kill a human. Like he probably would die to not kill one. But there's a hot point in the story when stuff really starts hitting the fan. He actually ends up killing somebody. Kind of a spoiler, but not really. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with that, and you can just see how like emotionally wrecked he is. Like he actually it just ruined him, and some of his character development is just unreal. And his whole thing, like, he kind of has amnesia, starts to get his memories back, then you figure out what he actually is, like what his end goal is. He's just a great character. And Trigun is such a fun, easy watch that has some darker undertones that also keep you going. So yeah, that's my spiel on Vash. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just really liked him a lot. And his character design is so sick. Like the John Lennon glasses, the spiked up blonde hair with like the red leather trench coat. He's just a cool looking guy. You almost expect him to be more badass than he is, but he's kind of goofy.
mean, I haven't seen any of it, and that's kind of what I was expecting from it, to be honest. But maybe not.
Because he's a gunslinger and he doesn't really miss his mark.
So he's a gunslinger that doesn't kill anybody.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger that doesn't kill anyone. That's his thing. Which is why the story is so interesting, because you'd think he'd just be putting bullets in people.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what a gunslinger is, but
yeah. So that's my take on Vash.
All right, my next one is from Steins Gate, and we've talked about this character before.
Yep.
Okabe, or Hoin Kiyoma, or whatever, depending if you're in Steins Gate or Steins Gate Zero.
Great character. Oh, I love him. He's so funny.
He is great, especially in the beginning. He's more of a satirical kind of character, and then towards, I don't know the exact episode number, but after certain events go
11.
down, it's about mid-series. After certain events go down, his character takes a complete shift.
Low-key a badass.
Yeah,
he is low-key a badass.
He will go to any ends to make sure that Mayuri, certain things don't happen to her,
and things be happening to her
and
over and over.
And he literally goes through that time loop I don't know how many. It doesn't say. I don't think, but
it's a lot. It's a few times an episode in the middle there.
And I think it kind of doesn't really straight out say, but he does it way more times than are actually shown.
Yeah.
So it could be up to the point where he's going through this thousands of times, seeing the person he loves the most. I'm just going to spoil it for you. Skip 10 seconds if you don't. The person he loves the most die over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. It's a great concept.
And that's where,
you know what really, I loved his voice actor in the dub. I thought it fit how he looked perfectly. Like, it was such a good dub.
It's kind of a rarity nowadays, to be honest.
It really is. But yeah, Hoin Kiyoma, Okabe, he's so great. I love how goofy he comes off. Like, I did not understand him at all. Like, the first 8 episodes.
And then
like,
when you get some development on why he's kind of like that, it makes him a lot more of a deeper character as well.
He's just like a wannabe scientist.
Mm-hmm.
He rents out like a tiny little apartment room, and
does he? I don't even know. Does he sleep there? I don't think so.
I don't know. You don't see him anywhere else.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's a good one. That's a good one that I forgot about as well.
Yeah, and so like in the you haven't seen Steins Gate Zero.
Mm-mm.
So in Steins Gate Zero, he's more of like the second half version.
Really?
But more depressed.
I can see that. He has
like
a reason to be depressed.
He's no longer Hoin Kiyoma at all.
Really?
No, he is.
He's Okabe.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's attending actual school.
Oh.
And has pretty much given up.
Gotcha.
And it takes a whole different twist on it. That's why I want you to watch it so bad, but you haven't yet.
I definitely will be watching more things once I finish my One Piece read through. Dude, I get sucked in. It's like a void.
It does.
I like start reading and then I'm like 40 chapters further in the story and I'm like, where did the time go? But yeah, Hoin Kiyoma, Okabe. That's a good one. That is a good one. All right, I'm just going to talk about Soma from Food Wars.
Food Wars.
Shokugeki no Soma.
Goodness.
I love Soma.
Oh, goodness.
I love him so much. And you guys know my love for Food Wars. It's one of my favorite anime. But Soma is so sick. I love everything about him. I love when he ties his headband around his head. He's just ready to rock.
That's when you know he's going next level.
That's when you know he's going Super Saiyan in the cooking world. But I also like how there's so many OP characters in that show. Like Erina has like the god tongue, and then there's that guy who can has a perfect nose. He can smell out spices.
For spices, the spice guy.
Yes.
Or what about the guy that beat him from copying him?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what his name.
Suzuki. No.
He's like a really big, weird looking dude.
He doesn't have like any special powers.
He beats everybody by copying their own dish,
and then he just tweaks it. He copies it.
He does a little bit of tweak to make it just a little bit better.
I think it's Suzuki. I have no idea. He wasn't an important enough character to really remember. He comes back.
Does he really?
He does come back a little bit. But yeah, and there's another character who can just spot the best fish in the market just by looking at it. And Soma doesn't have any of these special abilities. His work ethic is just unmatched.
He's an all-rounder with great work ethic.
Right. He's just a good cook, and he works for everything. Like, he'll stay up night after night trying new recipes. And I like that he's like this just because he wants to beat his dad in a cook-off. Because he got so good at cooking by working in his dad's diner. And I really like that dynamic. And I like how he never gets discouraged, because I think at this point he's like 0-500 against his dad.
Yeah.
In these Food Wars. He just keeps going, just never falters.
What I like about his cook-offs, or I don't think it's actually with the cook-offs all the time though, but sometimes he makes like the worst thing he can find.
Yes. Yeah.
Him and his dad both do that. I'm pretty sure.
Do that.
Like they just experiment with the weirdest shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. I love Soma so much.
That whole show is just a fresh twist. It's
done so well. It's
got JoJo's references as well in it.
It does. It literally has like fictional
yeah.
fan or stand battle.
Oh, that was like my favorite part in the whole thing.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
No, me either. JoJo's references and everything, I guess.
It's in everything there and everything. Should we go into a little
Speaking,
JoJo's?
yeah, I guess speaking of JoJo's,
Let's do it.
my favorite character in JoJo's, Joseph Joestar,
The
and
god.
the best protagonist,
I love
possibly of all time, Joseph Joestar.
Joseph-
Tactical retreat.
Tactical retreat.
My goodness.
He's like, we have one more thing we can do. What is that? Run away, and he just starts. fucking-
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Dude, he's one of the anime characters that has made me laugh out loud more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Throughout part 2 and part 3, he is.
JoJo's is another show though that like you watch it more for the characters
100%.
than for the actual story. I usually find the story quite lacking.
Yeah, the story is not its driving point. It's the characters.
But
and the
like you
fights.
can't stop watching when
No.
you got
Yeah. Joseph Joestar is amazing. I like all the Joestars though. I really do.
I
think
like
they're all good.
all the characters in
So
all
do
of
I.
JoJo's.
All the Joe Bros. I like the villains. Yeah, the characters are just so top tier. I even like the Pillar Men. You don't even like who's the Pillar Man? The Pride one. He kills Caesar.
Oh,
It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway.
Cars. No, that's a main guy.
Yep,
they're all AC/DC. That's one of them. It's AC/DC, Cars, and they're all named off of bands.
Yes.
Because that's like a common. That's like
That's
a
a comment.
thing
Yeah.
in like the first two parts.
No,
at
even in the
least.
later parts, Red Hot Chili Peppers one in part
Oh,
4.
yeah, I
There's a bunch.
guess.
Yeah, but I love the villains. They're.
Love every character. In
I do
JoJo's.
too. I do too. I love Kakyoin. I love
Polnareff. Turtle Polnareff is the best.
My least favorite Joe Bro, and I love them all, is probably the flame. What's the flame guy's name?
Flame guy. Oh,
and
Avdol.
Avdol. Like I'm like, Avdol's aight, but Avdol's still pretty cool. Yeah, they're great.
I love when they trolled Polnareff.
Who's your second favorite?
Of the Joestars?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Josuke.
Yeah, I would probably agree.
Because I really don't like Jotaro that much. I feel like he just isn't like. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Just the badass.
Yeah, he's just. That's his only character trait is being a
Yeah.
badass.
Josuke's a little more deep.
Mm-hmm.
Josuke is a fantastic guy until you talk shit
About his hair.
and then he goes.
And then when
crazy.
you figure out why he has that hairstyle, though,
that was
adds
pretty cool actually.
yeah. adds an extra depth to it for sure.
I think if we're including Giorno, I think Giorno's tied is my second with Josuke.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, Joseph is way above everybody else in terms of Joestars.
Yeah, he's great. Both parts that he's really in a lot, part 2 and part 3, he's just hilarious. Oh my god! Like every time he speaks English in the sub, I laugh.
It's so funny.
I just crack up. It's so funny. Like there's that one episode where he has the thing on his arm. He says it like 6 times.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I geek out every time.
He's the best. He is the best.
Don't forget, he's in part 4 as well.
He is, but he's
just kind of old senile, dude. That they could have ended part 4 about 3 episodes in if they just used his Hermit Purple. But
yep, that's true. That is true.
Like right at the beginning, I was like, is this guy just too senile to use his only power, or
I think that's what they were trying to get at because
he felt the need to take care of an invisible baby instead of.
That scene was badass when he slid his wrists in the water so they could find the baby. Hey, he still got it, man. He's still
good,
witty.
dude.
Because didn't they say he has like dementia and like cataracts now?
Oh, I don't remember
Pretty sure he's messed up in the
exactly,
head.
but he's just a freaking lunatic in the
What is he like?
part 4.
80 in part 4?
I don't know. He has
Something
like a
that?
16-year-old kid.
Yeah, Joseph's a pimp, baby. Screw you, Suzy Q. Yeah,
Yeah, no shit.
Josuke's mom for the dub.
All right, I'll do my next one. And this is I still don't think you finished the show.
Nope, still haven't finished it. I actually haven't watched an episode in like a month.
From Code Geass, Lelouch, I think it's V Britannia. It's either like Day or V. I'm pretty sure it's V Britannia. I should have looked it up. Oh well, it's been a while since I watched it. But his big brain moves
Yeah, he's
are
a genius.
he's got some big brain moves. Especially
I
in the
mean-
very end
Yeah.
is the biggest big brain move of all time. And you've not even seen it.
Yeah.
And
I will, dude. I will finish it within the next month. I will.
I can't really say the reason why I think Lelouch is the biggest or like the best, one of the best protagonists of all time, because saying the reason why is the biggest spoiler in anime.
Yeah. But I feel like he'd be on most people's. He'd be most people's.
If
one or
you've
two.
seen it,
I'm getting there. AK,
some
I promise.
jaw-dropping moments, and then it makes you think like, how long was he actually planning this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even from the first season, he has some huge big brain moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like life is just chess for him.
Yeah,
And
he has a few little brain moves though. I don't know if you've gotten there. I don't know if that's at the end of the first season with his sister.
Yep, it is at the
Yeah.
end. I'm pretty sure because I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it must be at the end of the first season.
that was a little brain move.
That was a little brain move. that was not a
No, that was a setback.
Come
for
on,
sure.
Lelouch. That's all right. Setbacks don't matter when you're that smart.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'll finish it, and then I'll be able to talk about it, and I'll understand the hype
Yeah.
around Lelouch, even though I already kind of get the hype because I do like him as a main character based on the first season.
I expect my phone to be exploding from you when you watch
Yeah.
it
I was like,
because
oh my god, what is going on?
it
I
is
can't
a
believe
mind
this.
explosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who you got next? on your list?
I'm gonna go with. Okay, just because I love this show, I just wanted to brief over Goblin Slayer. I think Goblin Slayer is so badass. The badassery of Goblin Slayer is just amazing.
Goblin Slayer from Goblin Slayer.
Goblin
All
Slayer
he does
from
is slay
Goblin
goblins.
Slayer. That's all he does, and I
All-
like how dry he is.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
just
so
like
cut and dry.
people ask him a question. "Oh, we need to slay goblins.
Yep.
Only thing he cares about is slaying goblins.
He counts down each goblin. 1.
Yeah.
That's 9. That's 14. I love Goblin Slayer, and like I've noticed this because after I watched the movie and it was.
Oh, did
it
you
was,
see
it
the
was
movie now?
alright.
It was-
Super entertaining.
Yeah, like it was a good watch, but it didn't move the story forward.
No, not at all. But he just like he always says I see. Like someone will like say something to him and he just
I
will be
see.
like I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
He's
Yes.
such a dry character.
I love that.
But like he's
about
such
him.
just such a badass.
Such a badass. It's,
I didn't realize until a couple days ago that Goblin Slayer is actually manga. I thought it was just like a anime original.
yeah, I guess I really had no idea. I didn't do any research into it. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Goblin Slayer. Just wanted to talk about it because I love him so much. Go for it, AK.
All right. We're going to go into a manga exclusive here. And we talked about this before.
Yes.
Right before the episode. And this is from Mashal. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced.
I think it's Mashal.
It's like
Magic
Mashal.
and Muscles.
Yeah, it's
or
Mashal,
whatever.
Magic, and Muscles. And that is the main protagonist from that show, Mash Van Dead.
He's so funny.
He is. So this is not. This is only like 25 chapters in total. And it's
pretty fresh
Yeah, it's a
manga.
Shonen Jump manga, I think. And he's imagine Asta from Black Clover. In like the Black Clover type of world, so he doesn't have magic, and he's like super yoked, super overtrained.
Yep, just strong as hell physically.
In the Black Clover world, so magic is like the most important thing in the world.
Except in this world, they actually kill you if you don't have magic.
Yeah,
But I guess Os is the only.
he's the
person.
only one in the
Yeah.
world that doesn't have magic.
Right.
And then from there, it is a Harry Potter parody.
It is a Harry Potter parody. It's like a clone.
Like they make him enroll in a magic school
Yep.
to like make him what's called the Divine Visionary.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like basically the best student in the magic school, and he just trolls everyone.
Everybody.
Like he sets world records on broom riding, from throwing the broom through the air and jumping on it, and just being able to stay in the air on the
Yes.
broom until he gets to the other side.
What made, dude? I laughed out loud at that scene because he's like saying "fly." He's just standing
Oh,
over
yeah.
his broomstick saying "fly."
Stomps, it comes up to his hand, and then he
just-
says "fly."
He just stomps the ground, says "fly," and like he stomps the ground so hard that it jumps up to his hand. It is. He's the biggest troll I've ever seen, and yeah. So imagine,
It's just straight tomfoolery.
and he's like a mix between Saitama and Mob. Like that's how
he
he
looks like, yeah, he's like a tall mob with like a little bit more facial structure.
And dude, have you noticed there's parts where he looks like super skinny, like Saitama does, and there's
Yeah.
other times where he just looks.
Whenever
jacked.
he's like actually gonna fight someone, like he gets like yoked.
yeah,
Saitama's like that too.
the
At
part
least in the
where
first season.
that teacher's trying to expel him, and he's like, "Oh no, this will actually be a problem if I get expelled."
Then
And he like sits there and thinks.
Isn't that when he buries
Yes.
him?
And then he literally like goes behind the teacher because he's super fast and strong, digs a hole with his bare hands, throws the teacher in the hole, and buries him alive. I mean, he doesn't die from this; he gets out. But then, like the headmaster's like, "We're gonna have to expel you for this," and he's like, "Oh, I suppose what I did is problematic." And then he's like, "Okay, just kidding. We're not gonna expel you." But everything he does is just hilarious.
Also, right when he was like enrolling and like during the interview,
mm-hmm.
the headmaster like tries to intimidate him, and then he's like, "What if I was to attack you?" And then he's Mash is just like, "I'd pound you with my fists."
Yes, he just looks at him. "I'd pound you with my fist."
Oh, he's so great.
Yeah, he's so great. I've never like it's 25 chapters, and I've laughed out loud at least once a chapter.
Oh, every single chapter.
It is the funniest manga I've ever read, and it is you have to read it.
It's got that vibe that like you don't know, you know he's gonna come out on top,
Right.
but you have no idea how it's gonna happen because like he has to come up with some dumbass creative way
Yeah.
to just completely fool everyone. And then he got this some weird fetish for cream puffs.
He loves cream puffs. No, when they were like putting him, so it's just like Harry Potter, the Sorting Hat, but they use like a crystal unicorn, and you have to touch its horn. And the unicorn's like, "I've been doing this for like 2,000 years. I've never gotten a person wrong." And he can like go into the minds of the people that he's trying to sort into the houses, and the only thing in Vash's mind is him laying in a pile of cream puffs, eating them. That's all he talks about. He lives for the cream puffs. MASH is great. Yeah.
MASH is great.
That's all I got to say about MASH. Read Mashal. Do it. You
Yeah.
will not be
pay
disappointed.
the $2 to get a subscription to Viz and just read it. It's great. It's worth it.
Shout out Viz. Sponsors.
Yeah, sponsor us with our whole 6 listeners.
Our 6 listeners, baby. Is it my turn?
I believe so. Got somebody good.
I do have one more. Okay, Guts from Berserk. I fucking love Guts. I love him so much.
How long is the Berserk manga?
I want to say 41 volumes.
Is it over or is it still going?
I don't know. I think it's still going. I don't know, actually. I'm currently reading, and I'm only on 10?
Volume 10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Volume 10, I think. So, yeah, I'm not
You have,
100%.
like, the hardcovers, though, don't you?
Yeah. I'm actually buying the hard copies. But Guts is just he's, like, the most badass anime character of all time. Like, when it comes to, like, gritty, badass, will do whatever he needs to get the job done. And he has the most willpower out of any anime character ever. I've talked about it in my previous video. Dude can never catch a break. Like, the whole story is just him getting shit on by fate. That's the whole story. And him trying to overcome fate, work against fate. And, yeah, he's such a great character. Like, the trials that this man goes through, is unbelievable. It's unreal. I know I read ahead a while ago, so I know some things that happen after the Golden Age arc. But he ends up getting this suit of armor that, like, it's like an OP suit of armor, and it can push his, like, body to its maximum limits.
Yeah.
And the suit of armor doesn't do anything crazy. And, of course, in this universe, what it does is it makes him not able to feel pain. So, like, his bones will shatter, his muscles will tear, but he just can't feel pain, so he will just keep fighting through it. So, like, once he puts it on to fight, puts the set of armor on to, like, fight a demon, it'll just tear his body apart. So the moment he's done using it, just his body's broken. And he's just such a badass. Guts is amazing.
All right. I'm going to throw Mob out there.
Yes, throw Mob out there.
Mob out there. He's is great. just the dude that wants to live a normal life. from Mob Psycho 100, in case you haven't seen it. But he's just what's his actual name?
Shigeo.
Yeah, that's what it
Shigeo.
is. He's just an average, not even average. He's below average
In everything.
in literally everything.
He's not even smart. He's dumb and he's physically weak and he's not good like socially at talking to people.
Can't talk.
He can't get
the girls.
Tsubome.
Can't win the 5K or 10K.
Yeah.
He's just a good dude at heart though.
Yeah, and his psychic abilities, that's what makes him such a good character, is because he's such a loser, but without his psychic abilities, and he's just trying to better himself.
Mm-hmm.
But his psychic abilities are the strongest.
Just wants to fit in.
He just wants to fit in, dude.
And it hits.
It does hit. He just wants to be a cool guy, man, and fit in, have friends. He does get those though.
I did look it up, by the way. It is one. The author.
It is one.
It is one. We had it in a number, but it is one.
Yeah. One.
Does he have any other works other than One Punch Man and Mob Psycho? Do you know?
I do not know, but that man is a genius.
He really is.
He's a genius.
He's got some great storytelling.
He does. It's such an interesting.
He's got some horrible art, but he's got great storytelling.
Yeah. Mob is amazing. His character development, everything about Mob is, and he's like so dumb and like innocent. It's funny. Like at so many points, he's funny. I love Mob. I really like how he looks too. Like his bowl cut, black bowl cut, just straight down. Looks like a side character, just like MASH.
Yeah, the guy in MASH says that he looks like a side character.
Yeah, he does. I don't think I have any more.
I have one that I had in my head that I didn't put on my list. And that's Norman from Promised Neverland.
I like those three, but Norman's my favorite.
All the three. Can you really consider them all the main? Is it Emma is considered like the main one, or is it just kind of like they're all?
I think it's kind of like all of them.
You've read some of the manga, so you probably have a better idea.
It doesn't really change.
Yeah, he's the super big brain boy.
Yeah, he's the smartest person, the smartest one at the
in the sacrifice he makes at the end of the season 1.
That was brutal.
That was tough.
I think I like Norman and Ray more than Emma.
So do I.
Well, Ray's low-key, like, he knows what's going on.
Who Ray is.
Yes.
Threw me for a loop. I was like, what? I was, oh my goodness. I
didn't see that
not expecting that.
Nope, not at all.
And then with that song, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is not what I paid for.
True. And that part with Mama, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but that was actually because I hated her, man. I hated that bitch. Mm-hmm. And then like right at the end, I kind of felt for her a little bit. I was like,
the last 2 episodes.
That sucks.
Especially when they were like running away and gave her like her character development at the end. You're like, wow, she's really just like
she's trying to survive.
Live.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Damn. That is such a good show.
It is a great show.
Norman is the GOAT. He's best boy for sure.
Oh, Phil is best boy.
Phil, yes. Phil. I love Phil. Yo, they're gonna. I don't know.
I've heard that he comes back in the manga. And
I think he will.
Important.
And he's just gonna be like.
Well, the manga's already over, I think, isn't it?
I think
It just ended.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that's gonna end because right now I still don't really know what's going on. I couldn't tell you the chapter. Maybe I could. But yeah, the manga is really it really takes a weird turn. I'm with it, like it's a super interesting concept, but it like was nothing that I was expecting. Like I feel like it's low-key gonna get a little sci-fi going, like crazy going in there. But yeah,
sci-fi, huh? Well, I guess it kind of has to fit in that realm because they got like weird alien people that are, I think, eating them. I don't know. They're killing them for something.
Yeah, their brain is like a delicacy, I think. And I don't know. They started talking about a portal.
Their brain is like the Wagyu.
Yeah, for real. Their brain is like super Wagyu. and the dumb ones.
Especially the smart ones when they turn 12.
Dude, low key, they're just like cattle.
That's literally what it is. They have a cattle take care of the cattle though, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right. True. That is a good one. Though.
I guess that's what you got to do when your cattle are smart.
Super smart, genius cattle, and they raise them to be super smart, genius cattle.
You think it was weird though how their tests were just like weird lines, like just straight up and down lines on paper?
Yeah, I thought that was.
And they
weird.
just like scan them.
It was weird that they like show. I'm assuming that was like picking A, B, C, and D.
It had to be something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of goofy. The other part, I did like that part with Ray, but I was like, he didn't have infantile amnesia. Come on, what? Is that a thing? Is that like an actual?
That would you
I've never heard of
definitely
that.
would
I'm
not
a
be able
nursing
to.
major, and I like looked it up, and I was like, there's no way.
You would not be able to pull that song out of your ass in no way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Hopefully we didn't spoil anything there.
No, we definitely did, but
it happens.
it's
an anime podcast.
I feel we're vague enough that it doesn't
right.
cover a whole lot.
Wanna go for another one? We covered mine.
I think we covered all mine as well, actually.
Sorry, Deku fans.
I'm honestly surprised that what the hell is the guy's name now? From Samurai Champloo.
Mugen?
Yeah, I'm surprised Mugen didn't show up on yours.
I just didn't know if he was. I guess he's kind of a main character.
Yeah, that's a tough thing about a lot of the shows that I like a lot.
Because like the girl really is the like main protagonist, but Mugen, I do love Mugen, and he is one of my favorite anime characters. A breakdancing samurai.
Yeah.
He's a super savage. He can never get laid though.
No, he can't. It was a tough thing coming up with like main protagonists that like I really liked.
Yep.
Because in a lot of the shows that I watch, the main protagonist is not really even like the best character per se.
No, I agree.
Like in the Seven Deadly Sins, I chose Escanor, who's like technically he's in the main group, but he's not the main guy. Meliodas is, but like I'd rather, if you're gonna stick with a main protagonist, it's gonna come out from shonen genres, of which they're usually pretty annoying.
Right. For the most part, like in My Hero, Deku's like my 15th favorite character. Like Mirio's my number 1, and I think, I'm drawing a blank. Endeavor's my number 2. I think. And apparently we get a Endeavor character arc, like a good one.
Oh, really?
This next
Not just the
season.
episode.
I've heard from.
I like the tape arms.
Oh,
or the dude that just has like his
Mineta, bro. I like him more than Deku.
Goated. Mineta's hilarious.
Mineta is hilarious.
He's just a horny little bastard.
I guess. I mean, I'm not that high on Bakugo and Todoroki. I like him way more than Deku.
Yeah.
Todoroki kind of annoys me a little bit. I think Bakugo's funny. Just a savage.
I like Bakugo.
Yeah. Shit, should we talk about Gon at all? What do you think about Gon? Because obviously Killua was way better, and the villains are top tier.
Yeah. Gon is just kind of a place filler in my book, except for the last arc.
The last arc, Gon gets to shine a little bit. I saw this YouTube video actually, and it was like moments that make me think Gon has always been unhinged. And there are some moments throughout the show where Gon flashes his dark side, which I forgot about. Like
I've seen a video on that as well where it talks like Gon really is only he's like a child that just does what he wants.
Right.
What he thinks is right and doesn't think about the greater good.
Because like there are so many parts where he's just like his eyes are just like dark, and I'm like, what a savage. Like when he breaks Illumi's arm, that was so savage. That was in the first arc, right?
That was in the Hunter exam arc right at the end of it.
Yeah, I like Gon, but there are characters in the show I like a lot more, and he's just kind of filler, but I feel like he does his part, so I'm not gonna hate on him. I love him.
He definitely at the end he hits the spot with Super Gon.
Yeah, when Gon snaps, shit goes down.
That is another moment in anime history that goes down as one of the hypest.
100%. I hate power scaling things because I feel like it takes away from some stuff, but I want to know how strong adult Gon is.
Well,
like when he snaps.
The way they power scale it was by like Neferpito said that he could take, like,
Yeah.
he's the one that could kill Meruem.
Right.
And which means he's, like, the
One
best,
of,
the strongest of all time, at least in the known world, not the Dark Continent.
Yeah.
But obviously, Killua's sister is stronger than Gon.
Yeah, Killua's sister is the strong. Is it his sister?
It's technically a boy, I think.
But
it's
Anyways.
androgynous,
right?
Which comes up often in a lot of shows, actually.
It really does, but yeah. I totally
Culture.
forgot about the last arc of Hunter x Hunter now that I think about it. I actually liked it.
Everybody forgets about the election arc.
Dude, I actually enjoyed the election arc.
Leorio almost just
punching Jing. Leorio almost gets elected.
Yeah.
Of it.
And then he would have been, and then he just walks away.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked a lot of things about that arc. I thought it was really interesting. Killua's sister, like how powerful they were.
Yeah.
And I forgot we got the fight between the butler and Hisoka.
Yeah.
And Hisoka's just like messing with him.
Mm-hmm. You know what I was thinking about Hunter x Hunter was that it would have been so cool if he would have like kept writing and like had a similar send off like Gon did with each of the main four.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm assuming he's gonna do something similar with Kurapika
yeah.
after or like in the Dark Continent. But then it would have been so cool if he would have done that for each of the four main characters.
Yeah, it would have been.
Except for I don't think they could pull back Leorio for anything.
No, but I would love to see more of Killua.
Mm-hmm. Like that him as like an adult or like a little bit older, like teen instead of like 12.
Mm-hmm. Because Killua is, I feel like he's got to be. If we're taking a poll of favorite anime characters, Killua's got to be in the
He's
top
got to
10.
be up there
like,
for
globally,
sure.
He's got to be. I see so
At
many
least
memes
in the
and
United
shit.
States, yeah.
Yeah, about Killua. I don't know. He's great though. He's one of my favorite characters in the show. There's that world, dude. Every time I think about it, I get kind of sad because I just want to know so much more. And like, I want another Hunter x Hunter to just explain more things.
I just want it to be continued. I just want the mangaka to continue writing so the anime can come back. Because it's so popular that if he finishes it, they're going to make it. I bet they start at the beginning, to be honest.
I wouldn't doubt it. I bet he gets a Madhouse treatment if he finishes.
Well, it's already Madhouse.
Right. I don't think they'd switch studios. It would just be amazing.
I think they'd redo it again, though. I think they'd do the whole thing.
From the get-go?
Mm-hmm. It'd make him so much money, there's no way they wouldn't.
Yeah, because everyone would rewatch it.
Yeah,
I would.
I would watch the hell out of it.
Same. I would binge the whole thing. I would watch it weekly if it came out weekly, yeah. It's one of the
such
most
a good
popular
story and such a good...
I don't know what
such good, actually... I put that as probably second in my list in world building, actually. Behind One Piece.
Yeah.
But
honestly,
he doesn't.
Same, probably.
It's second in potential for world building.
Second in potential, and even just with what we got at the end of Hunter x Hunter, of like where the anime ended, it opens up so much more. It could be One Piece level, but he doesn't have Oda's dedication.
No. But he did go through a whole Yu Yu Hakusho before.
True, which is I should watch that. I actually used to watch Yu Yu Hakusho back in the day when I was a kid, before I knew what anime was.
That would be a good show for me to go through that I have zero spoilers for, actually, because I don't know anything about it.
It's really good, not gonna lie.
I know the main character's name is isn't he like Yusuke?
Yep, it is Yusuke.
That's literally the only thing I know about the show.
Spirit Gun, yeah, he's cool. But I actually have a question for you. Who's your favorite Straw Hat besides Luffy, from what you've seen?
Usopp.
Usopp, yep.
Usopp for sure.
At the point where you were at, he was probably my favorite character. But then it turns into Zoro. Then Usopp and Sanji are tied.
I think mine is probably Luffy, then Usopp, then Sanji, then Zoro. No, probably Nami first. I like Nami's backstory a little bit better.
Yep.
And Tony or Chopper, dead last. I can't stand Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper is probably my least favorite Straw Hat. Yeah, he's probably my least favorite Straw Hat. Sorry, Chopper fans, but I like other characters that even get introduced later more. But Yeah, Zoro's backstory was pretty weak, but I feel like we might get a Zoro arc in Wano or something. I feel like we need to figure out more.
His
about
arc
him.
was like super early though.
Yeah.
With where it showed like I think I've already read part of it,
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
know
only on
Sanji
chapter.
gets another one.
Does he actually?
Yep, it's called Cake Island. It's the second to last arc where they're at in the manga.
Oh, I didn't think they'd go into his backstory anymore.
Yeah, they actually flesh him out more.
Wow, his is like one of my more favorite ones, at
Yeah.
least as far as I am in.
Well, you learn more about Sanji and his family, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I really want. Okay, Robin. I like Robin more than Nami. You're gonna like Robin more than Nami.
Yeah,
once you get to her
I ended
backstory.
right before I was gonna start learning about her a little bit more because I ended 15 episodes into Skypiea where she just started.
Mm-hmm,
I watched like the fifth. I should have just skipped the filler,
yeah.
but I didn't. But I actually enjoyed the filler.
Yeah, there's actually a filler arc in the anime that is pretty good. People consider it the best filler arc in all of anime. Take that as you will. But yeah, I don't really have anyone else I want to talk about here.
Me either. I think that's probably.
Should that be it for episode 3?
I think that'll do her. That'll get her done.
And take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be here next week. We're still not sure what our topic is going to be.
We need to get a schedule.
We should get a little schedule. Let them know ahead of time. There's just so many things we could talk about, and
our brains are exploding with information that we want to tell you guys, but we just can't put it in a list yet.
Right.
We'll make our best efforts at it.
We will. Yeah. Take it easy.
Peace out.